It's there on from the White House, and Parikshit is now joining in with more details on this. He's been following all of these updates right from the month of April. Parikshit, what are the latest developments?
Well, the White House, as expected, has announced the August 1 tariffs. The tariff for India has been fixed at 25%, as Donald Trump had announced earlier. This is the highest among countries in South Asia. So, for example, U.S. has imposed a 15% duty on Afghanistan, 19% duty on Pakistan, Cambodia, Thailand, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka have been hit with a 20% tariff. As you said, the August 1 tariffs will be imposed 7 days from the signing of the executive order on 31st of July. Now, as per Executive Order 14257, that was signed by Donald Trump on the 2nd of April, items like pharma, semiconductor, lumber, critical minerals, energy and energy products, they will continue to be exempted from reciprocal tariffs. So that still holds. Secondly, there are sectoral tariffs on autos, 25%, steel and aluminum, 50%. These sectoral tariffs will continue and they will exempt it from the immediate reciprocal tariffs that have been announced now. No change. As far as the additional penalty for India goes, clearly that threat is looming large. That could come in the next few days, possibly subject to where the negotiations take us. But at least in the August 1 executive order that has been announced by the Trump White House, there is no mention of an additional penalty for India yet. Interestingly, a very important soundbite coming from Marco Rubio, the U.S. Secretary of State. He has said that India's purchase of Russian oil is definitely a major irritant in negotiations, in trade negotiations, because it is funding the Russian war effort against Ukraine. Let's also tell our viewers that as far as the transshipment tax goes, the United States notification has said that any country found guilty of tax evasion, duty evasion, by trying to transship goods and show them as coming from a certain country, but they may actually be originating from China or for that matter, those articles will be slapped with a penalty, an additional penalty of 40% plus any fines that may be applicable.
So, Parikshit, there are a lot of unanswered questions still. The major question yesterday was the fact that whether these exemptions that were announced in April, they still stand. Is that correct? Do they still stand as per the latest order from the White House? And if you have managed to speak to certain sources with regards to the response from the government, what are you hearing on that front?
Well, no response from the Indian government as yet to the immediate notification, but the Indian government has been saying that we will take actions in our national interest. Sources have been saying that we are not going to take any kind of knee-jerk reaction. We're going to wait and watch the situation. 25% tariff, that somehow was an expected line, but it is the additional penalty. It is the kind of words that Donald Trump has used against India, which have come as a surprise. Sources in the Indian government are also preparing for maybe an additional set of secondary tariffs that may be imposed on India in case the Russia-Ukraine talks were to fail. Remember, Donald Trump has set a 10-day deadline for Russia to show progress in stopping the war with Ukraine. Now, if that weren't to happen, the U.S. may slap severe tariffs on Russia and maybe secondary tariffs on countries like China and India, which buy oil, large amounts of oil and defense equipment from Russia. Currently, as far as the tariff situation on China goes, there is no change in the tariff situation, but that, of course, is subject to further negotiations. Items like pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, lumber, critical minerals, energy products, they will continue to remain exempted from tariffs. So if pharma was being exported to U.S. at zero tariffs, semiconductors were going at zero tariffs, so those duties will continue for now without any change.
Parikshit, thank you for those updates there, important ones coming in from the White House, and of course the response from the government as well, that there will not be any knee-jerk reaction, but whatever measures are taken will be done in national interest. Now,